Looks like we're live. Okay. And I got this thing done. Getting my nerd on, like always. With that said, Travis Solofka here. Welcome to another episode of the Human Upgrade Project. I need to think of a better intro for this that actually explains a little bit of what it is at the beginning of each episode. I think maybe I'll come up with an intro thing, right? Something along the lines of, I've always been fascinated by what makes people remarkable and extraordinary and what some consider superhuman, mentally and physically. How do they do that? Follow me as I learn and dissect. That's what happens when you see somebody else do something wrong, or you do something wrong. So, before I get into exactly what tonight's episode is about, as always, we'll start off with Random Squared, bizarre / weird, odd national holidays here in the US of A. Tomorrow's bizarre holidays, tomorrow, May 24th, is our English. Man. First, National Escargot Day tomorrow. Escargot is actually Escar Awesome. So if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. If you don't know what it is, it's snails cooked in a variety of different ways. The only reason I know about, here's a funny story about escargot. I grew up on a ranch outside of a town of 900 people in the mountains. We didn't do escargot. However, the really funny part is I went to work in the oil field right out of high school. And in the oil field, we lived in a man camp. Man as in the general term, mankind. So don't get all fussy if I don't say men and women all the time. If you know me, you know I just talk and I'm not like good, bad, whatever. Anyways, up in the oil field, we had food prepared for us by some amazing chefs. And during one of the holidays, because I pretty much worked like every holiday, they made escargot. And it was, like I said, Escar Awesome. So tomorrow is National Escargot Day. So if you've never had it, I say try it. Try it someplace that has a decent reputation, because it's probably like anything. If it's not cooked properly, it probably sucks. Also tomorrow is National Scavenger Hunt Day. So you could combine the two and make it a scavenger hunt for escargot. That's optimization right there. You can optimize anything if you really want to. It all comes down to the want and what you're willing to do. So I'm at about 4 minutes. So like I said yesterday, in the first 3 to 5 minutes, it's going to be a little bit of randomness and random squared specifically, and maybe a story or two like tonight. But episode number 11, I need to think of a better way to explain that. Anyways, I'll just call it episode number 11 and stop with all the weirdness on that just because it's weird. Tactical turtlenecks and TTIGF. And I don't mean TGIF, because I think TGIF is the lamest thing ever, which is the thank God it's Friday. And don't get me started on that, because I know people that like don't even believe in God, which I don't care if you believe in God or bunnies or flying unicorns that fart pixie dust, but don't use TGIF if you don't. Change it to something else. Thank goodness it's Friday. There we go. Okay, that works. Anyways, I don't get off my soapbox on that one, because that's, who cares? So, I'm going to try to make tonight a little bit shorter. We'll see how it goes. Because I'm doing this a little earlier than normal, because I'm excited to get some things done for the guide the sleep journal guide, the Ultimate Sleep Hacks Journal Guide thing that I'm putting together because it's awesome. Because I'm excited for myself. Like I'm gonna make it available, but I love this stuff and I get all geeked out on it and excited about optimizing my information in a way that's like, this is cool. I have one place I can go to now to find like almost every sleep hack that's available everywhere, and I can now have like an official journal. And I'll get into the journaling thing a little bit more here in just a second, but actually I can get into it right now. The 5-minute journal. If you've never heard of the 5-minute journal, I think I first heard of that from, oh geez Louise, maybe like 5 years ago, a long time ago. And it might have even been like a Tim Ferriss episode, or if you don't know who that is, he's like a lifestyle biohacker kind of guy. Anyways, does some cool stuff. And this 5-minute journal it's a journal that takes you 5 minutes to do. I looked into it a little bit and just found out basically what was in it, optimized it for myself, and I'll go through here in a minute exactly what I use it for, but I do mine at the end of the day. They say, I mean, there's different philosophies on different things, right? A lot of people say journal first thing in the morning, and then there's other people like journal last thing at the end of the day. I like end of the day because it lets me review the awesome things that happened during that day and set up a little bit of the next day. I'll get into the exact questions. They're in the comments down below or in the post if you want to see them. So TTIGF, that's 3 things I'm grateful for. The one thing I'm really proud of right now is it's day number 6 now since I've had a chew. And I haven't murdered anybody, which is always good because I don't think I would do very well in prison. So, day number 6 of that. It's, yeah, I don't know if you've ever been addicted to anything or not. Like I said in the previous episode, I've actually quit twice in my life, but it was more of a forced thing to do because I lived in Mongolia, don't have it over there, and I lived in New Zealand, don't have it over there. And so that was a year one time and a year and a half in Mongolia, a year in New Zealand, and then promptly proceeded to start back up again every time I returned back to the United States. That will not happen again because it's a little hypocritical of me that I am that is counter. It's just hypocritical. I can't say anything fancy about that. I don't like hypocrites. Do what you say and say what you do. If you don't, be gone. So, the 5-minute journal. That was my proud. The whole, I quit chewing, look at me, woo. Yeah, I shouldn't have been doing it in the first place, but that's just, those things happen. So, I'm walking, living proof that you can stop doing things that you know are bad for you. Here was one of the good ones. I was like, I don't have any other bad habits. I can have one. I've heard people say that about a million things, right? Justification. I'm really good. I can justify anything. So anyways, tomorrow will be a week. The first 10 to 14 days is always the most interesting, for lack of a better term. And after that, it's not too big of a deal. So my 3 things I'm grateful for real quick. Cold weather. A lot of people are, I'd probably say it's a lot, pissing and moaning. And I'm going to look that up where that came from. Anyways, they're griping and complaining about the cold weather. And in another month, the same people will most likely be griping and complaining about the hot weather. The reason I like the cold weather is you can always put more clothes on when it gets cold. When it gets hot, you can only take so many clothes off before they arrest you and put you in jail. I don't know that from experience. I just assume that's the case. Hey, Capri. if you're still here. One of these days I'll figure that out. Like how to put the warm weather in perspective. Turtlenecks. And that's where the tactical turtleneck comes in. So I found out there's a guy that works at the gym, and I still go in, right, and do all my stuff there, all my rehab and everything, still doing that. And so I'm on my laptop working in the cafe, drinking my coffee, doing all that. And once in a while, when it's chilly out, I'll wear my turtleneck. So apparently there's this show called Archer that's supposed to be funny or something like that. And the guy in there has, there's a scene in there where they talk about a tactical turtleneck. I looked it up. It was kind of funny, the 20 seconds I saw of it. And yeah, so now I'm calling this my tactical turtle. I buy a lot of the same exact thing. It's more efficient that way. The other thing is I'm really grateful for people I don't agree with, which should make sense, but maybe it doesn't. What I mean by that is if everybody agreed with me or I agreed with everybody else, then it'd be a kind of a boring life not knowing that other perspectives and opinions were out there. I don't always like other people's opinions and philosophies and things like that, but it lets me reevaluate the things that I'm doing so that I can optimize those different areas of my life if you need to. So it's fun to actually hear somebody out completely on a different perspective other than what you think is true. So part of what all this, I'll throw this in here too, part of what all this is getting at is it's all obviously around human optimization. You can use this for anything. I use this, the 5-minute journal thing at the end of the day for my gratefuls and my prouds and all that kind of stuff, because by doing that, it actually, it makes you feel better and it helps you sleep at night. And it lets you review the day and find the things that worked well. Just like the holy crap, I slept great last night journal. This is kind of like the today was another day. I better write down what happened because I can pull some really good stuff from it if I need to and learn from that and use it and apply it tomorrow. Or help somebody else with that information that I learned today about me, myself, and I. So the reason I say the reason I said it was not TGIF is because I don't like TGIF. Like I was saying, the biggest thing about TGIF is I don't care what day it is. Every day should be awesome. Not every day is awesome, but every day should be awesome. And if you're waiting for Friday for it to be awesome, I feel bad for you. Sorry, like I said, I'm going to throw some things out there that may not be nice or may be hard to hear. I have to tell myself these things sometimes too. I don't always like them, but that's just the way it is. So the questions in this thing. So and what I did, so I found out about the 5-minute journal, right? This is what I do at the end of the day. Helps me sleep better, puts things in perspective, all of that. And sorry, I'm reading comments at the same time because I'm all over the place. It puts things in perspectives, makes me grateful for what I have. And I found a service called If This Then That. There's also one out there called Zapier or Zapier. They're automated things, and literally went through. I found somebody had set one of these up that automatically emails it to you, or puts it in my Evernote every day at 9 p.m. And I just modified the questions to work for the evening, and I added a couple of my own questions. So the questions I go through, and feel free to steal these. I don't do all of these every day, always. I do, however, the ones that I focus on the most are the things I'm grateful for, the things I'm proud of, or something amazing that has happened from the day. So question number one I always ask myself are what are at least three things that I'm grateful for today. I do sometimes put in like daily affirmations, the whole Stuart Smalley thing. You're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you. It's funny, but those things do work. So That's pulling out my hippie card on that one. Coming out of the closet. 3 amazing things that happened today or that you're proud of. And I need to change that because it's usually, I do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, or 3, right? Up to 3 things. And I like to do something amazing that happened today or something that I'm from meditation and all sorts of other things. You're just like, you're making it way complicated. Like I'm grateful that I have this digital watch that is like not a cool app watch, but it does exactly what I need. Simple things like that. It doesn't have to be, I'm grateful that I saved a kitten from a burning tree that was going to fall on a car that had a little baby in it and save the day. Because when's that going to happen? So there's that. And 2 questions that I added in, and at least one of these I added in. How could I have made today better? And how can I make, or what's one thing that would make tomorrow great? And by doing that, like I said, you get to see what you did. Now, this doesn't mean, how could I have made today better? Answers like, by not being an idiot or by not doing this wrong or that wrong or whatever. You think about it. You answer a question with a negative answer, and that just perpetuates the whole process. So I am, I'm running along here a little longer than I planned. I want to get some work done tonight, some more work done tonight. I'm doing stuff for, like I said, for this. I'm just more notes and more optimization tips and tricks. And let me make sure I went through all my notes here. Yeah, so not super spectacular night. I have my nights where these things flow really, really well, and I've laid them out really nicely. I do have my notes and all of that. I am going to be doing more themed lives and like little mini trainings or whatever you want to call them, where I start with a topic and run with that for 2 or 3 days if possible, so that I can show you like the framework that I create when I'm doing, when I have an idea for an experiment, or I find somebody that is just remarkable or extraordinary or appears to be some superhuman whatever. FYI, most of the time people that appear to be super amazing, they are, but they also don't always share the things like I'm trying to share on here, where it's not all rainbows and butterflies all the time. So it depends on how you approach it, whether you follow through, and what you learn from that you can apply for the aforementioned optimization of the human. I'll be on here tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday. I may pop on, do some things, talk about some things, but yeah, I'm gonna, if anybody has any ideas, I've gotten some really good ideas. So my tagline at the end, I got that from a friend on here, and I think there's a couple other ideas. So any ideas for themes, whatever, structure, framework, I'm wide open. Like I always say, question something that you can take you from and apply and see how it fits together. And then pull out the pieces that work or don't work and make it better. It's learning how to learn. Okay. 21 minutes. I'm getting back to it. I'm so excited. I think it's because I'm so excited to actually get back to doing this really geeky, nerdy stuff that I can share with you guys, that I'm just kind of scattered right now. And I'll blame it on quitting chewing too. It's all that fault. Yeah. Oh. Well, it looks like I just lost my feed on Facebook. I have no idea how that happened. I'm not done. And no, I'm not happy at all. That was lame. So hopefully if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to call it good there. If you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed the previous episodes, if you're excited about the next episodes, like, share, subscribe. And until the next episode, make it an amazing day because it's better than the alternative.